And if you are stuck in the mindset that without the belief you cannot embody the values, then all you're going to do is push those people further into the arms of the leftist dogma. All right, welcome back to the party, everybody. I am your host, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Here with my co-host Morty. Let's party. So we got another edition of New Rules from Bill Maher, and I gotta tell you, as an atheist, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Even if you're not, let's hear him out, because this is a good one.
And finally, new rule, you shouldn't be able to talk about DEI anymore in America. DEI, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion, without including atheists.
Without including atheists. You can't do it. There's not diversity. There's not equity. There's not inclusion without us atheists. Okay, some people are on board.
Thank you, a few of you. Atheists, we're approaching a third of the population now. I shouldn't have to beg for this, for God's sake.
Now, let me make one thing abundantly clear. I don't need anybody to celebrate the fact that I don't believe in a God or gods. I don't need that. But y'all are the ones who are all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. So if that's the game you want to play, that's the game we all play.
It's outrageous. There are this many of us, and there is still zero representation in government. Congress has 535 members, and only a handful will even sheepishly admit they're religiously unaffiliated. The Supreme Court is 2 Protestants, 1 Jew, and 6 people more Catholic than the Pope. And even intellectual presidents like Obama, who admit to being secular humanists.
By the way, that means a non-religious person who has the morality of putting humans first. So that's an atheist.
Have to pretend to be religious. No one has been able to admit their shameful secret, I don't believe in ghosts. Now, next Sunday is Easter, so enjoy. First you've heard of it? Okay. Yeah, enjoy if that's your thing. Bunny rabbits that shit eggs to celebrate the Son of God. Whatever floats your ark. But it's not fair that people who belong to one of the big religions, they all get this cosmic personal day where the world revolves around them. I mean, here we are in the middle of the great egg shortage, and yet next Sunday we're going to take the few eggs we have and hide them in the yard.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I don't know what to tell you guys. That's a good point.
There's also now a movement for schools to officially recognize Ramadan, the Muslim month of fasting, and I'm all for it.
I was going to say, I'm all for that too.
Or anything that gets our fat kids to eat less. But while approximately 3 million Americans celebrate Ramadan, 100 million say they have no religion at all. What the f***? Where's our day?
And again, I don't need a day. But the notion that it's some atrocity against humanity not to dogmatically follow an organized religion is frankly offensive.
Is that really so much to ask that this many people get 1 day a year when we recommit ourselves to observable reality? 1 day with no atonement, no corpse reanimation, no fasting, no tree in your house, no big rock to circle, no dirt on your forehead, no candles to light, and please, God, no fruitcakes.
Does anybody like a fruitcake? Nobody likes a fruitcake.
Just a yearly 3-day weekend to celebrate your deeply held belief that with Monday off, you can drink on Sunday night.
I'm for
and
it.
get to sleep in because there is no place to gather.
There is no place to gather. So those of you who are watching this and saying, atheists, give them a day, give them some credit. There is no place. So fine. I accept that you believe that your religious beliefs and whatever are the right way to live. Okay, that's fine. You can think whatever you want to think. would it not be better for those of us who don't follow those beliefs to have a place, to have a community where we can actually come together and talk about the values that we believe in? Most of the time, without, influence from a dogmatic adherence to the government, those values are going to be very similar. Most people don't want murder to be legal. Most people want to live a quiet, happy, peaceful life the same way you do. Just not for a God or for Jesus or anything. They just want to live that way because they want to live that way. Is that so horrible? Should we not foster that if they already are not going to believe? I get it. If you want to convert people, that's on you. But there are some people that have done ungodly, pun intended, ungodly amounts of research. Many of them, myself included, started from the point of God exists and it can't be any other way. And in an attempt to get closer to God and learn more about our religion, that is how we were pushed away. Now, again, that's a conversation for another day. But of those people, would it not be better for you, for all of us, for people who are secular, to have a place, whether physically or not, to celebrate the values that we all believe in? How is that a bad thing? How is that a bad thing? Let me know, because I don't get it.
We know what we believe and what we don't believe. We don't need to rub elbows with other people who don't believe it too. And we don't need to commercialize our holiday like all the other religions do.
Exactly. It's just the principle. I don't need an International Atheist Day. I don't need an International Atheist Holiday. It's the principle.
Atheist Day is about not buying something. Like virgin birth, I'm not buying it.
I said shit. Me neither.
We have the numbers. We can do this. The fastest growing religious group in the United States are nuns. No, not the kind who used to beat you with a ruler for being left-handed. I mean people who, when asked how much they want to be involved with a religion, say none. The unaffiliated share of the population, consisting of people who describe their religious identity as atheist, agnostic, or nothing in particular, has risen from 5% in 1972 to 15% in 2005 to 32% today. You're welcome.
He says you're welcome because of his great documentary, Religious. If you have not seen it, check it out. But look at these numbers. Look at these numbers. A lot of people are very hesitant to call themselves atheists because they believe that the word atheist means I believe affirmatively that no God exists. Unfortunately, they are incorrect. What atheism is a lack of belief. And furthermore, agnostic is not a halfway point between believing and being an atheist. Gnostic means I know. Theist means I believe in a God or gods. And the prefix a means without. So I would consider myself an agnostic atheist. I do not know whether a God exists or not. But I don't believe, based on all the experiences of my life, that one does exist. That could certainly change. I don't think it is, but that could certainly change. So when we take all of the people who have that mindset, we are talking about almost a third of the country. There's never been an atheist president. I don't think there's ever even been anybody in Congress or the Senate who has been openly atheist. But trust me, it's going to happen. Or actually, it already has happened. But again, going back to the open part, it's going to happen because 32% of the population is right now. What happens over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years? What happens when people listen to me and see that, wait a minute, I don't need to believe in X, Y, and Z in order to be a good person. I don't need to believe in anything in order to hold the values that will bolster this country, that will actually give us real progress, that number is going to rise. And if you are stuck in the mindset that without the belief you cannot embody the values, then all you're going to do is push those people further into the arms of the leftist dogma. So if that's what you want, go for it.
And lest you think it's only young, educated, white liberals, no. Just about everybody is losing their religion, or as I call it, holy ghosting. The average age of a nun is 43. A third are people of color. A quarter voted for Trump. 70% don't have a 4-year college degree.
Take a look at those numbers again. The average age of a nun, not as we've explained, not a traditional nun, but the person who says, what do you believe in, or what religion do you associate with? And they say none. The average age is 43. So it's not these young, it's not always these young, hedonistic, leftist, whatever. It's normal people. 1/3 of the country is black atheists. More than a quarter of Trump's voters and Trump himself are atheists. And most people who do not associate with a religion don't have a college degree. What does that tell you about the picture of the atheist that you had in your mind? Maybe you're thinking of the militant atheist. Yes, when you have believed your entire childhood that there's a God looking out for you and everything's going to plan and there's a safety blanket that no matter what, God won't give you anything that you can't handle. When you go through life thinking that and then that gets ripped away from you, yeah, you're going to be a little bit angry for a little while. But then you figure out how to move on, how to grow up, and how to live without a sky daddy. It's not that hard, guys. As long as you keep propping this up, you will continue to normalize the idea that dogma is good. Now, I get that you don't see a problem with it when it comes to dogma in a religious context, but it's the principle itself. Accepting authority without question is how these atheists became the leftists that they are. Instead of going to God, they went to the government and the establishment and the corporations and all of that. I get that I would rather them be dogmatic to religion as well. But what would be ideal is if nobody was dogmatic about everything. And we could all be skeptical, critical thinking individuals and think about each issue as it is intended to be thought by intelligent human beings on a case-by-case basis.
Millennials are the first generation that are less than a majority Christian. Their idea of hell is a coffee shop with no Wi-Fi. When asked how often they go to church, 34% of younger millennials answered seldom/never or don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know? Hey, kids, going to church is like having an orgasm. If you didn't know you did, you didn't.
Guys, real quick, I got to ask you a huge favor. Over half of you who watch this stuff are not subscribed. Please, it is a huge help to the channel. It's really quick and it's free. Just click that subscribe button. Thank you so much.
And that's another great thing about Atheist Day. You don't have to fake it. You don't even have to be an atheist to enjoy it. Just like you don't have to be Christian to enjoy Christmas. I still love Christmas.
I love Christmas. I love it. I love tradition itself. I share the same values that you do. I just don't believe in the same truth claims about the universe that you do. Which one of those is more important? What I believe about the universe or how I comport myself in society?
You don't have to be an atheist to celebrate Atheist Day. I'd like it to be the one day a year that the devout can get a little taste of what it's like to live your life without some mythical daddy figure judging and condemning you for being the exact person he made you. Atheist Day should be a day for believers to stop and ask yourselves, why? Why? Why make up a being who's constantly disappointed in you? You don't need it. You've got your wife. And your parents, your siblings, your coworkers, your trainer when you don't give 110%. There are plenty of people right here on Earth who will gladly make you feel like a lame, incompetent fuck-up.
Facts.
Why make up one more? It's like adding an extra mother-in-law. Why always be tormented? I better not make Jesus cry. Baby Jesus cry. Why? Is he sitting behind you on a plane? Wouldn't you like one day, one goddamn day in the year when for 24 hours you can tell your God to climb down off your ass? Because trying to please a man who's not there sets you up for a lifetime of misery. Just ask Tiffany Trump.
Ooh, just ask Tiffany Trump. So there you go. Bill Maher brings up a great point about atheists and the nuns and all of that stuff. I know a lot of you are Christians, and I respect that very much, but I am also, my authentic self, and I am an atheist. I would love to hear what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments below. I think this is very, very interesting. I'm super excited to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for partying with us. This is my co-host, Marty, and I am Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Catch us live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, guys, we are out of here. Peace.